Yeah, they were up there in age. But the guy looked he looked like he knew what he was kind of doing a little bit. The lady looked very stern. So they were trying to get to that clinic. Yeah. But it was kind of the Mulholland Drive moment.
You're probably trying to take him.
Yeah, they looked pretty serious about getting to that clinic. But he was, they were trying to get there. I don't know if they need to get there or not. Linda, not now. Okay, Texas Health, Harris Methodist is right here. We took Linda here. We did a vlog on it and everything. Yeah, she got hit in the back of the head by a roommate, a flying metal object. And they had to put a few stitches in it. It was some kind of accidental drunken rage kind of thing. I don't know what it was. This is it right here. They're a really good hospital. So we're gonna go in there. We went during COVID where they asked you a million questions before you could even get into the front door.
Yeah, it probably should be.
This is probably where they're trying to get to. They probably have a special clinic here. It's right next to Southlake Square. Well, there's a hospital. We probably should have took them here and had them, I don't know.
Ask them.
I don't know. It may have been taking too much time. They're all the way from Germantown.
Yeah, how could you see that well?
Tennessee. I've got 20/20. It just has to simulate. It's Tennessee. Let's see.
No,
Oh, they don't keep those plates for very long, really. I think it's Tennessee. It's part of this show. Yeah, Tennessee. They're all the way from Tennessee. All right, so removal of stitches. We did it with the staples that came out of her head right here. And now it's her, which thumb? Which thumb is it? The right? Right thumb? Yeah, it's the right thumb. She was cleaning knives in the Subway sandwich shop and sliced her thumb. 7 stitches, and now it's time for the removal of those stitches. Not that way, it's a fire exit.
I know, I just saw it.
Okay. There's a sign here that says attention. This door will open, surgery patients, staff, vendors, until further notice. If you are here, fire department, blah, 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 blah. This is how they kind of were last time. No, they didn't even let us through last time. No tobacco, no vaping, no alcohol, and no drugs. Hi. It's fine. How are you doing? So Linda cut her thumb. She cut her thumb probably about more than 10 days ago at a sandwich shop. And we went to Texas Harris Methodist downtown where they did put stitches, 7 stitches in.
You're gonna go down the hall?
Okay, well, let me finish. We're here to remove those stitches.
Yep. You're gonna go down the hall, right before the
You read my mind.
Yeah, that's why I was like, let me tell them what they're doing.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. So she knew the information right when I walked up. We must be famous. Board of Managers. Physician leader. Right here. Scott Holden is his name. One of the leaders of the physicians. That's a lot of paperwork. Linda's already filled out an accident report, known as an incident report, at Subway. So they call it an incident, but it was an accident report. Water. I know. That's still from COVID right here. There's water. All right. Did you hear what she said down the hall? Yeah. Hello. How are you? So Linda cut her thumb about 10 days ago. Okay. Probably about 11 days ago. At a Subway sandwich shop with 7 stitches. We did have the stitches put in at Texas Harris Methodist downtown for work. So we're here to have the stitches removed.
Okay, I'm gonna have to check on that. We've never done.
Okay, this is a procedure, so we are asking for assistance because we do want the stitches to be taken out correctly. So we are asking.
Okay.
I do have some paperwork right here, ma'am.
No. It's not that. It's just that it's okay. Normally the person, like, we'll have to just charge you a whole other ER.
That's fine.
That's fine. He told me.
Yeah.
That's all right.
All right, so if you'll have a seat right here, I need your driver's license.
Okay, thank you.
Your insurance.
And what's your name?
Lisa.
Lisa, do you have like a last name on the badge or anything? For a nurse? Okay.
What do you want him to know?
I just want to make sure I get talk to the right people. So you're spelled L-E-S-A, and what is the last name?
I'm not gonna.
You don't have to. You don't have to. I just got to make sure that I got the right person. You're an inpatient registered nurse, Texas nurse Methodist, right? I'm making sure they're talking to the right person. That you're the nurse that we're supposed to talk to. She let us over here.
Show me.
Okay, so you are a nurse. Okay, thank you.
Very good extension class, I go back to work.
All right, I was manhandled by the doctor because I had a question about the stitches being removed. So he pretty much manhandled me. So removed me from the ER room, and the procedure's already over with. So I'm waiting for the results. I told the doctor, in my line of belief, that the nurse left, so he was there alone with Linda, and I said I'd feel more comfortable if I was there with her because of how I was raised. And he said the word S-H-I-T to me. I said, I find that offensive. Then he grabbed me by the shoulders and threw me out of the ER room. Then he told the desk to, call militant action or whatever. So I just left. So I have to wait until they said the procedure was over. It was bandaged, so I didn't get to see the results. I asked to sit in it, but I wasn't allowed to sit in the removal of the stitches. So he just lost his temper and threw me out of the ER and got all emotional, which there's nothing I can do other than wait. Supposedly it's a veterinarian clinic. I have no idea, and a restaurant is like right next to it. So I don't know how or where this would be. The veterinarian clinic that she must have been talking about. But it's not really a veterinarian clinic. It's like a place where you buy, it's called St. Bernard. Place where you buy stuff for your dog. It's like, outfit for the dog or something. All right, I guess we're still doing the Please Subscribe show. The doctor threw me out of the ER. I went in and I said these words. I said, I'm a Baptist. I was raised Baptist. I feel a little uncomfortable with a man being alone with my wife. The nurse had already left. I was only gonna go in if the nurse left. I said, I'm here to pick her up. Is the procedure over? He said something about blah, 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 and used the word S-H-I-T, which is shit. I said, well, that's offensive to me. Then he said something about his wife. And then I said, well, she's my wife. I don't appreciate the language. So he went over, grabbed my shoulders, threw me out of the room, told them to call the authorities. So I left. And I think that's very rude for a doctor to do. Very mean. So there are cameras they keep in the hospital. But anyway, I know this. I'm not unfamiliar with the fact they have cameras everywhere now. So he threw me, he like pushed me, and I went like this. Now, and then Linda, I had to leave, so Linda went elsewhere. So I gotta go pick her up, and I guess they bandaged her. I got the sidewalk walker here. They bandaged her thumb, and I guess they removed the stitches. I wanted to be there during the procedure, but there was a nurse. I know, I've got 24 seconds. 21 seconds now. There was basically a nurse that was there during the procedure. That's all I wanted. I wanted to make sure there was a witness there. I try to do that when we go to ER or something. So he got real mad, like fugitive kind of mad, like just like, get out of my ER room right now. I said, okay, hang on. And then he manhandled me. He pushed me out of the ER room. So I went, whoa, okay. But they have cameras, so nothing major that you wouldn't, you know, go through in football. But, well, there was no real reason to retaliate. I was just worried about her thumb, you know. So anyway, headed back. I think it's kind of, you know, people get nervous in ERs, and I just wanted to make sure if she was in there by herself, I wanted to hear what he had to say about the procedure and her conditions and to getting information, because sometimes Linda, you know, she gets a little airheaded at times. So I could keep track of this, like if he's saying if we should put certain type of Neosporin on it, an antibiotic, a triple antibiotic, or something like that. But he did not want me present at that moment and threw me out. He also used the word SHIT, which was offensive to me. I don't know if he was Navy guy that was, I just said, look, that's kind of offensive. He's like, I don't give a SHIT what you blah, blah. I said, well, I understand, but that's a little offensive. And that's when he went on like a rant, you know, he just, I don't know if he was on drugs or what. Sometimes they do drugs. I played a doctor in college. I was in a play in Heidi Chronicles. So, pretty mean. Supposedly, according to Linda, the cops came in, interviewed her, and then she went ahead and left. Now I gotta go to get her in a different location. So, I mean, I should sue him, but that would be wrong. But to push me to that extreme was very scary, because I was trying to get her to, you know, wrap it up and so that we could leave the procedure. You got to be careful on those situations. But anyway. There you are. Okay. Did you leave the bandage on? Let me see. Okay. Okay, let's go.
I need to use the restroom.
It's right over here. On the other side of appliances. Hey, listen, I'm gonna ask you something real quick. Did the doctor shove me out of the ER? Yes or no? Did he shove me out of the ER? Just say what you saw.
Yeah.
He did. Okay. Then that's a form of aggravation. He aggravated the situation by shoving me. So what was said was, well, my wife is right here, and I feel safer if I'm in her presence. He said, well, I don't give it SHIT because my wife's at home. And I said, that's fine, but I'd appreciate if you not use that language. And he goes, listen, do me a favor, get out of my ER. And then he grabbed me, and then he shoved me, and I went flying out of the ER. Linda saw it. I didn't like fly in the air, but I was pretty upset. I said, well, Linda, are we going? So he said, call the authorities, get him in here, blah, blah, this. And I was like, okay, well, you know, all right. And then I just walked out of the ER, and I don't like that. I would rather be present during any type of procedure, especially with doctors nowadays, with all the crime. Another thing too, the nurse was there. As long as the nurse was present, then I didn't care. Once the nurse left the room, which was a female nurse, once she left the room, then I went in to check on things. He didn't like that, and he threw me out. This is at the Southlake, Texas Methodist Harris Hospital. The name of the doctor, she knows. He has like short hair. It's almost, I wouldn't say it's a buzz. I gotta watch out for copyright on the song, but it's like a buzz, and he's kind of stocky. He's kind of, I don't know, about this tall, and very kind of irate and arrogant. And I had to leave, you know. So that you got to watch out when you're in a situation like that, because they have the upper end. There's certain things they can do. Now, the other thing too, when I was at Subway and they were dealing with her, the Subway manager threatened to trespass too. So anyway, you got to be careful in the situations. If you put your wife in a situation where someone else is going to try to trespass, then you have to play the chess game and know how to do that. The best thing to probably do in that situation was probably to stand on the corner of where the ER room is by the curtain, and then just kind of stand there and wait. So he didn't like the fact that I went in and checked You know, they have already had finished the procedure. I said, well, why are we waiting here? The procedure is finished. Can we go? And that's when we got into the scuffle. And she witnessed it. So she's a witness. The fact that he pushed me out of the ER. Now, if I were to press charges, then we would go to court. And he has, I don't know, the $1 million. But what I should have done is went in with the camera on, like that. Because you can see all my actions if the camera's like this. Say, you know, don't get in my space. He went into my space. If you check the camera, he went into my space and moved me this way, into my space. What am I supposed to do? I have to watch over my wife. So, sorry, but you were talking to my wife and the nurse had left the room. It was time for me to enter and say, listen, I was raised Baptist. Let's get this right. The good news is, while the female nurse was in there helping to remove her stitches, which it looks better now, I was able to cut three shows. I was able to export 3 shows. Not basically export the shows, but I was able to edit and cut the shows at the same time. So this show will definitely be coming out tomorrow. I just now sent up a show out of order, so it will arrive out of order, reviewing the traffic stop that I had with the unpaid school zone ticket, because I got a ticket for driving in a school zone. And I'm reviewing that one too. I don't know the officer's name. It's a Keller police officer. It's on its way, basically uploading at the present moment. So I'm uploading that, and that one's reviewing what happened on the traffic stop, which we went to the traffic stop on Vermilion Court. Did you find it? All right, let's head out. It's over this way. Sweet pea. It's over that way. So what exactly happened after I was pushed out of the ER? The nurse left, so I went in to check up, and he pushed me out of the ER. So what happened?
It just happened so quick.
What happened so quick?
Can you park real quick?
No, I'm asking a question. What happened so quick?
Can we park real quick?
Yeah, we can park. Hang on. What happened so quick? What happened so quick? Explain it. You said something happened so quick?
All stitches.
Huh?
All stitches.
The stitches. So they removed the stitches. That was with the female nurse. And then when the doctor, I went in to check on you, and he got mad and threw me out of the ER. What happened after that?
Nothing really.
Nothing? So what was if the procedure was over, why wouldn't he just release you right then? Did he give you paperwork?
Yes.
You have paperwork. I need the paperwork to see the name of the doctor, because I am going to show this. All right. I bet there's not a name of a doctor on this. There's your name, which is Linda Spivey.
That blood pressure was high. You're not supposed to be in the room anyways.
That's fine. He said it was, yes, his name is Kirk Alexander. I'm getting his name right here. Kirk Alexander. There's the date, April 10th, 2023. There's the time, which is 3:34, but it was actually later than that. Then there's something called Jonathan MD. Those are the 2 names of the doctor. What did he want to talk to you about? What did he want to talk to you about? Don't honk the horn for me. What did he want to talk to you about? What did he want to talk to you about?
I don't know.
You know.
Pressure.
You wanted to talk about blood pressure? Okay. Well, he can talk about blood pressure in front of anybody. Question. Did I tell the doctor that I was your husband? Did I tell the doctor that I was your husband? Okay. So how did he respond to that?
It's up to me as a patient to
True.
decide.
And did you leave the ER?
Yes.
Okay. And are you sitting next to me now? Then he is no longer a doctor. Kirk Alexander Jonathan, you were removed from your duties as a doctor. You were removed from your duties as a doctor. Your whole career is over with. You worked your whole career, your whole life to be a doctor. You had to be alone with my wife in the room, didn't you? When I already said it was offensive. The stitches were out. She was ready to go. I asked you. I said, I am a Baptist. We feel that a man should not be alone with a woman in a room. When the nurse, the female nurse, left, I entered. I said, I am Linda's husband. And you said, well, I don't give an SHIT. My wife's at home. And I said, that's fine, but my wife is sitting right here. That's when you stood up and asked me to leave. And I said, I will leave with Linda. You did not allow me to leave with my wife. That is an offense against a person. It's highly offensive. You will not be a doctor in Texas. I don't know what state you're from, but you will not go home and be a doctor. Not with your name, Kirk Alexander Jonathan. And that sounds like a weird setup on the name. Is it Jonathan Kirk Alexander, or is it Jonathan Alexander Kirk? Whatever your name is, you once was a doctor and had a career at Southlake Medical, Texas Harris Methodist. You are no longer a doctor. You're removed from your duties. You cannot grab anybody and shove them. Now my shoulder right here is slightly sore. And Linda witnessed you throwing me out. Didn't you, sweetie?
Yes.
She witnessed you throwing me out and grabbing my shoulder, which is kind of sore, because I care for my wife and I want to make sure that she's well protected. Do not talk to my wife in a room if I'm not present. That goes for any man. No, we don't do that. We don't approve of that in the Baptist church. You are not to sit alone with my wife and have a conversation with her without me being present and hearing that conversation. No more doctor for you. No more medical for you. You will not survive as a doctor in this world any longer. That's not healing. It's not safe to do that, especially if it offends me. She was to leave with me. And for those few seconds that you got to talk to her about her blood pressure, for a few little seconds, because he must have heard about Angel, for a few seconds, boom, you lost your whole career. There's no way. They have cameras. This will be posted tomorrow. Good luck. Goodbye. Godspeed. Good night. No more doctor for you. You don't get to play doctor anymore. You try to, but not anymore. Your job is over with. You're an aggressor. You're evil. And you need to go to a church and seek a pastor. I care for my wife and I care for her thumb, just as I care for my own thumb. Thank you. Goodbye. Good night. And hey, listen, April 20th is your last day, because I know this because God told me. You have 10 days to get out of there or the police will come and get you. They will come and get you as an aggressor. You assaulted me, they can check the cameras. You assaulted the husband, the wife's husband in an ER. Bye-bye. Said to keep your blood pressure down and don't open a jar of pickles. And that's it?
Yeah.
Okay. And what else?
I'm ready to go back.
What about triple antibiotic, like Neosporin?
Didn't say anything about that.
Nothing about triple antibiotic. That's what I wanted to ask about. I have no idea why he would be so offensive unless he's on something. Sometimes those doctors dabble and they get on something to keep them going. But he was very aggressive. So he grabbed my shoulder and then the door kind of opens automatic. It opens like this, automatic. So I guess the door was already open and he just kind of shoved me like out of the room. And then I said, well, you know, I'm trying to leave with Linda. And I said, Linda, let's go. Then he shoved me again. And then he pointed to the assistants and said, call the authorities. I'm going to have this man trespassed. I said, fine, I can leave. So I left, I waited, and then I guess they talked to her about her blood pressure and a jar of pickles. Over talking to my wife over blood pressure and a jar of pickles, you lost your whole career as a doctor, which was a great career. You cannot go pushing other people around. It doesn't matter if I'm her husband or friend. I'm her husband, but you cannot push me around. Linda, am I your husband?
Yes.
Yes. So you cannot push me around. You have to respect the fact that I am her husband. If you cannot respect man and wife, then you're not a doctor. There's no way it would ever work. Because the next situation, another guy, if it was Mark Wahlberg, he would have knocked you out. If it was Mike Tyson, he would have knocked you out. Bradley Cooper probably wouldn't because he's professional. Bradley Cooper probably would have made the right decision and waited. But I still was concerned because sometimes you get instructions like keep, you know, some Neosporin triple antibiotic on it or something like that. We just wanted some detailed information about, you know, because the stitches are removed. We're talking about 7 stitches. I take that very serious, okay? So I don't see how you would even want to be a doctor at this point. It would be crazy. You cannot treat a couple like that, regardless of where they come from, their culture and everything. Who knows how many people you've hurt as a doctor? Kirk Alexander, what I'd suggest that you do is go to a church and ask the pastor what you should do. Because you're dealing with marriage every day, especially in the ER. Someone else will lose it. Someone else will lose it, and it'll be way worse. Luckily, it was only that you shoved me. That's a complaint against you, which I will be calling Texas Health Medical. My concern was to make sure we got the information we needed and then we were able to leave. But I had to explain to him the reason I was in the room is because I'm her husband. And Baptists don't like to leave women alone with other men in a room. And then he said, I don't give a SHIT. My wife's at home. I said, well, your wife is at home. My wife is right here. And I would like, you know, an explanation of like why you're talking to her when I'm not there. Supposedly he talked to her about blood pressure and a jar of pickles. And then he gave her some paperwork, and that's fine. I said, well, we're ready to go. And he would not allow that to happen. I see signs of drugs, some types of drug that he, the doctor, was probably taking. Some kind of an aggressive drug. I don't know exactly what it would be, but that doctor, I have reported the doctor to Texas Health. There's a way you can file a report. If you go to Texas Health or call any of the medical centers, they will walk you through how to file a report against the doctor. I'm filing that report for sure. He shoved me. Just like I filed a report against the Burger King employee who knocked me in the chin. So, anyway, that's what happened. All right, we're back to the Fort Worth. And we'll be dropping food at your doorstep. And Linda starts her new job serving food next to the point of sale system tomorrow. Now my shoulder hurts because some aggressive medical doctor likes to throw people around in the ER like an idiot. He's playing football or something, you know, and grabbing my shoulder, like, you know, and like pushing on it. As a doctor, that's a real stupid move. Sounds like to me he might be a quack, like what's known as a fake doctor. A good place to put them in Southlake. Those are very hard to find. Those little quack doctors that are fake. A real doctor would not sit there and manhandle somebody, especially a husband. Just because I have something to say, well, so what? You can't throw someone out of office acting like a monkey. We're not animals. We're people that use logic and think. You know, think before you do something like that. Take a breather. You said it was up to her? Well, she's my wife. You know, that's already becoming a wedge in our marriage, you know? Oh, it's up to her. Right, but you would use the word, it's up to your wife. As in Linda, right? And I'm the husband, you know? Why would you say something like that? Oh, it's up to the, he said it's up to her. He didn't say it was up to the wife. You know, it's up to both of us, as in Cole Spivey and Linda Spivey. It's up to both of us. It's not, you don't make that decision. We make the decision together. You treat the husband and the wife as the same. We're one flesh in the Bible. If you can't do that, then find another career somewhere on another planet. Because that's how they all need to treat us. As you would treat Linda exactly like you would treat me at the same time. We're one flesh. It says so in the Bible. Mosquito. That's what those people are. They're mosquitoes that leech off other people in the medical field. And they try to take advantage of people. They're like salesmen with stitches. That's not a doctor. That was a quack. In my opinion, the guy should be fired immediately before he gets sued. All right, so we just got one at Ninja. I'll be calling it in. It's basically Asian food. We'll be dropping that Ninja off at your doorstep. There's Linda Spivey, and I am Cole Spivey, and welcome to the Please Subscribe show.